As I was contemplating what sort of procedures that we should have here at church once the stay-at-home orders are lifted and we can come together as a church to worship together in person in our church building. And that thought was about the Ten Commandments. See, the Ten Commandments were originally formulated in order to help the Israelites live together in their new society after the captivity in Egypt. It later formed the bedrock for their society and their justice system in what is acceptable and what isn't acceptable, and how that is gone about in regular life. Now, of course, later on, Jesus takes a cue from other parts of the scripture where it talks about the Ten Commandments can be summed up with two great commandments. The greatest of these is to love God with your whole heart, soul, mind, and spirit, and to love God with your everything, but also to love your neighbor as yourself. And then he gives a little twist on that and says, love each other as I have loved you, which is that self-sacrificial love that he demonstrated for us on the cross. Now, later on, Martin Luther actually turns this also on its head by giving a little different perspective on the Ten Commandments. Not only shall we not do certain things, we shall not murder, steal, commit adultery, covet, lie, that sort of thing, but we should also do the opposite in order to help our neighbor have the fullest life. So instead of thou shalt not murder, it's also thou shalt help other people have a full and good life. Not just thou shalt not steal, but also thou shalt protect one another's property from theft. I'm reminded of this because as we go about the business of reopening our community after the stay-at-home orders are lifted, about how we look out for our neighbors still. The truth is that when we wear a mask to the grocery store, it's not about protecting ourselves. We wear a mask in the grocery store in order to protect the people around us. So what we do isn't about ourselves, it's about helping other people to live a full and good life. It used to be you look out for you and I look out for me. But I think what this experience is teaching us is that we're so interdependent that actually a better way is I look out for you and you look out for me. That way we're always looking out for each other and trying to get the best for one another. Ultimately, that helps us to live our best life as well. So whatever that looks like in the coming months, I don't know. But the truth is, if we continue in that philosophy for looking out for one another, knowing that they will also be looking out for us, and even if they aren't looking out for us, we're still doing our best to look out for one another and modeling that good behavior, that can only lead to benefit for us and our society, as was intended by the Ten Commandments to begin with. So I encourage you all to think about that as we go about this business of reopening our communities, hopefully here in the not too distant future. But it's a very good lesson to think about as we start to do that. God bless, and you take care of yourselves.